equal. One was too close for the regional semifinals and final in Portland, which was your chump.
That was my chump.
The other was Rashee Rice, the wide receiver from the Kansas City Chiefs. In a street race on a freeway in Dallas, an accident that was caught on dash cams. It was a Lamborghini and a Corvette. 6 cars involved in what looks like a very fortunate thing that only one person was hurt. I want to start with this. This is a guy who 1 year into his career has $3.5 million guaranteed and a contract that can pay him up to twice that much. I know at one point I was young, and I know at one point I made dumb decisions. But I don't know about a $3.5 million risk. And quite frankly, your career or maybe even your life when you are speeding on streets, speeding on public roads. And it's dumb. We all know that. An incredibly ridiculous decision. And it might be worse than that when there's talk about what might have been in the car. So I guess we'll see. But Gator, really, really bad. Now, the draft is coming up, and we can talk about how this impacts us because it might. Kansas City might be in the market for a free agent receiver. The receiving core was a weakness last year. They did address it in free agency. But at the end of the day here, if they're thinking wide receiver, the Lions might be thinking wide receiver. That's going to be interesting because they're right behind the Lions. Will they be compelled to move up ahead of the Lions? Could the Lions actually move back a few spots with Kansas City?
Well, I guess it's interesting because it depends on what happens here.
Yep.
I don't know if this is going to be something that prevents him from starting the season.
May or may not.
But it's a bad look nonetheless for Rashee Rice.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He's still wanted. He left the scene, and the police said they're looking for him. If that's the case, this could be a Cam Sutton situation where the team says, all right. I mean, it could be. Cam Sutton, domestic violence charges. It's pretty bad too, but I don't know. We'll see how it plays itself out, but we always wonder if it impacts us. Yeah. This could impact us.
And Cam Sutton finally turned himself in, which is good. Yeah, the Lions definitely have to be considering a wide receiver in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Would they do it at 29? It's quite possible. And you know that Brad Holmes is in tune to what other teams are going to do. He has maneuvered in the draft because of thoughts of what other teams would do. That's why he's moved up or moved back, but not moved back too far. He wanted to make sure he was going to get Jamison Williams. They moved up to get him. He wanted to make sure they're going to draft Jahmyr Gibbs, but they couldn't drop back too far. They want to make sure they still had it and didn't want him to slip to some other team, so they went back as far as they felt safe about it. Would they do the same thing with a wide receiver? If he values one that high, he would. Yep. I think he would, because he's shown he is absolutely unafraid to move up or move back in the first round of the draft and throughout the draft.
I'll be more shocked if he doesn't move.
I will too. Honestly, I feel pretty strongly he's going to move out at 29. I don't know if he'll move up or move back. There's some really talented players. I don't know if this is a deep draft.
It's deep in certain positions.
It's deep in some positions, but I don't know if it's overall